Hi everyone, today we talk about the bear market, and in case you haven't been really aware of what's going on in the stock market recently, we are currently in a bit of a bear market situation. So today I'm just going to cover like the economy overall. I did a pretty in-depth video of my thoughts on the economy about 2 weeks ago, so if you want to check that one out, I go through a few details in that one, point out a few worrying signs that I've seen in the economy, and talk about a few good things in the economy as well. But I'm going to probably briefly recap some of them points in this video, and then we're going to talk about the bear market. Pretty much when do I think it's going to end, if it's going to go on more. We're going to talk about all them things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use a little bit of history, and go back a little bit to the last correction that we had, which was back in 2015. The actual correction happened towards the back end of 2015, and then it pretty much went into 2016 as well. It actually started, I've got a picture up here, it actually started on the 7th of the 6th, and it did not recover until the 21st of the 3rd. So that's quite a few months really. That's a good 9 months it took for it to totally recover from its actual first movement downwards to when it actually got to the point where it got to. If we look at our current correction now, this started on the 22nd of the 1st, and we're currently on the 25th or 26th of November. So we're about a little bit over what the last correction did. So this one's been a little bit longer. Pretty much we had the start of this correction back in January, and it pretty much recovered around about September time, and we thought, oh, that's about it now. That's recovered all the losses. Is the stock market going to go higher than this? And I saw all the news on CNBC and CNN saying, is the stock market now going to push to new highs now? And everyone on there were going, yeah. And then 3 weeks later, I saw everyone going, oh, it's a crash now, it's a crash, it's negative. And it's quite funny seeing everyone's opinions change on that. I've got to say, a lot of the people that are probably watching this video or watch a lot of YouTube videos on the stock market, I don't think a lot of them would have been invested in the last correction really. A correction itself isn't too bad. It's when it crashes that's definitely a lot more scary. But a correction is not a bad thing. We're seeing a lot of buying opportunities right now in a lot of stocks, which I'll go through in a little bit. But if we see on the chart, on the last correction we bounced off the 200-day moving average of the Dow, and that was the what actually pushed the stock market a lot higher from there. We look at the chart now and look how high the actual Dow is off its 200-day moving average. There was about always beforehand on the first correction in 2016, there was always about a 1,000 point gap between the 200-day moving average and the Dow Jones, and now we're talking about a 4,000 point gap. So we've always said that the stock market has gone a little bit too quick. We had a massive bull market rally since 2017. 2018 was an absolute great year to be invested in the stock market, but we definitely had a cooling off phase, and maybe that'll allow the 200-day moving average to close that gap back to 1,000 points. But I mean, that's something that does need to close up slightly overall before we see the stock market move higher. Overall in the economy state of it compared to 2016 and now, I think there's a few more worrying signs with this. I think there's quite a lot. The job employment rate is very high. I think a couple of companies are starting to miss revenue a little bit. Very high expectations on that sort of side of it as well. So the economy is not in as good as a state as it was last year. It's not in a terrible state. I don't think it's in a crash state right now, but it's in one of those states where I'm like, yeah, the stock market should not really be going too much higher because of the way the economy is. Not for another 6 months yet. So in my honest opinion, I can't really see the stock market going below 2,000 points on the Dow, and I don't see it pretty much going past its all-time highs for probably another 6 months. I think we're probably going to have a bit of the stock market staying in that kind of area right now. I don't see too much pushing it up, but If you're a long-term investor, which all this channel is about, you know, there is opportunities for you out there to be buying in the stock market. You know, you've got a lot of companies pushing towards the 52-week lows. I'm actually going to make a video talking about 5 stocks that are currently at the 52-week lows that you might want to look at buying. But you know, you would add a lot of positions when the stocks are doing well. But the thing is when you get them at a discount like this in 2 years' time, if we take a company like Facebook, if we take a company like Google, Apple, do we think them stocks are going to be higher in 2 years' time than what they are now? I think they will be. So there's probably a good chance to be buying into them stocks right now, if you're a long-term investor and you don't mind about having that money tied up for 2 years, because you're going to probably make money in the long term if you invest now, because they're at such a massive discount. There is potential for them to go lower, but like I say, in 2 years' time, even if the stock market goes lower now, it's still probably going to recover that then in 2 years' time. So it might be a good time to invest in some stocks. If the stock market goes lower, maybe purchase some more shares into it. But yeah, it's definitely a good time to be buying a lot of stocks. There's some on a massive discount right now. So overall, guys, yeah, I think it's kind of it's an interesting period, and I'm not going to say if it's going to go up or down, but I don't think the stock market will go too much higher in 6 months. And like I say, I don't think we're in for a crash, but I could see this drop down to about 221. The Dow dropped down to about 21,000-ish, maybe 22 at least, which would pretty much put you down to where the stock market was back in July. So I think that's more than likely what will happen, guys, but it's definitely an interesting time in the stock market. We were due a little bit of a pullback. It's always healthy for the stock market to do that. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep making videos on it as it goes on. Thanks for all the support recently, guys. It's been amazing. Give the video a like, and I'll see you on the next video.